everyone, I'm back again, second time tonight, and this time to do a response to Dereck's thread and first purchases of 2012. I have two here. See, first up is an album I've been looking for a while. I'm happy to have gotten it. This is John Mayer's Continuum. Not normally a big fan of John Mayer, but this album is one of my wife's favorites. Renee, I don't know if you can see the image of John. Kind of a cool cover. See if I can play with it in the light so you can see it in the cover. And this is a favorite of my wife's, of Renee's. And Renee turned me on to this album, actually, rather than me her for a change. And the reason I like this, if you're familiar with it, this is just a very, very, very bluesy, blues rock album. There's a cover of, this is the special edition vinyl, so it has his song Say, which is on the Bucket List soundtrack, but John covers Hendrix' Old Is Love on this album. And I gotta say, overall, from start to finish, maybe with the exception of Waiting on the World to Change, which is just kind of silly pop, the rest of this album, is a double vinyl set, is just fantastic. If you like blues guitar, I hate to compare it to Hendrix, but really that kind of sound, that blues rock guitar sound, just it's probably, I think in my mind, the only thing John's really done that's kind of worth owning, especially when it comes to prices on vinyl. So this one of the first two purchases of this year, John Mayer's Continuum, I would highly recommend this. Fantastic blues rock album. And the second is one that I was really excited about, and I'm equally pissed off about, and I'll tell you why. I've been looking for this for quite a while. In anticipation of their new album, which comes out Tuesday, Fallen Empires, here's Snow Patrol's Eyes Open. I've been a long time Snow Patrol fan. It's a gatefold. I love Snow Patrol. I think I locked on to Snow Patrol around 2000 with When It's All Done We Still Have to Clear Up, I think is the name of the album. And then what Gary did with his Reindeer section, and then Final Straw. This is another double LP set. Very cool labels, just very stark, simple, black. And then, of course, they got a little more commercial with Eyes Open. They found mainstream acceptance. Personally, I don't think they ever compromised their sound. I think Snow Patrol still and always does sound like Snow Patrol. I love the soundscapes. I love Gary's voice. I think Snow Patrol is an amazing band. There's one of the inner sleeves. And this one has been a little difficult to find on vinyl for a while, and always very pricey from the UK as an import when I can find it. So I finally managed to lock onto a copy, and I've just been waiting and waiting for this to come in. And when I got this today, and I think this is a fantastic album. Call it commercial if you want to, but I love every song on this album. And when I did get it, of course, immediately I threw it on. In typical me, I started playing it backwards. So I played through side D, side C, side B, and when I got to side A, which has probably my three favorite songs on the album, I threw it on, and I noticed the more it tracked towards the inner, I started picking up some audio weirdness in the beginning, and the further we got into the record, I started noticing more of the speed would increase and decrease, increase, decrease. It's like, what the hell is wrong with my turntable? It wasn't my turntable. I looked over and I saw the tone arm tracking in, then out, in, then out, in, then out. So while the rest of the record plays fine, and I threw this on my second turntable, which is just here behind the camera, same thing. Threw on some other LPs, no problem. There seems to be something manufactured wrong, or a defect in the grooves, just on side A, with You're All I Have, Hands Open, and Chasing Cars being the third song and last song on side A, where it's tracking more here towards the dead wax, and it gets worse to the point where you can hear it. It's almost it's an extreme example, but if you were to hit the 35-45 RPM button, on off, on off, on off, that would be the result you would get. So I'm very, very pissed because it's not a cheap record. And I'm very, very curious if anyone else in the VC owns this, if you've had the same problem, or if you know anything about it. I Googled it and couldn't find anything about it. Unfortunately, it just, man, it sucks. I just can't even get behind keeping it. You know, I've wanted this for a while. I kind of treated myself to it. for the first of 2012 and in anticipation of their new LP coming out on Tuesday, which I can't wait to pick up. And you know, it's just disheartening. It really is. Really disheartening. I don't know. If anybody knows anything about it, type it. Put it in the comment box. Send me a PM, whatever. I'm going to start working through the motions of sending this back and letting it go. I'm tempted to keep it just because I'm so happy to finally have it, but I can't. It's just, it's not right. Like I said, you know, it's not cheap, and that side is just unlistenable. It sucks. But whatever. I highly recommend both Continuum and Snow Patrol's Eyes Open. Both fantastic albums. Picking up the new one from Snow Patrol on Tuesday, so once I get a chance to digest it, I'll come back and show you that. Dereck, cool thread. Let's start the year right. Those are my first two of the year. Continuum, Snow Patrol. Great albums. Whatever. Guys, take care. Talk to you soon. Ciao.